What's going on, guys? We're back again with another Fury postseason, off season. And we have a special episode today. We're going to be talking about Colin Kaepernick. And there's nothing fancy about it. You know, it's a lot of drama around this. You know, where is he going to have a home? Is not the social issue that falls with him, and the ties with the social issue with the fans, the organization, what's so much, and the fans. But there's a lot to talk about Colin Kaepernick, basically. But before we do that, we're going to do a quick punt that's. If you're new to the show and you don't know, it's a new little segment we came up with. There's a little issue or something we just got to get off our chest. The panel of the show, you just got to get off our chest. We got to punt that, just say it like it is. And there's a problem. And I'm going to I have a punt that today. Yes, Sean Ford has a punt that today. Whew. And it's about the Seahawks. My team, that's right. Seahawk fan, LOB.
Let it go, Sean. Let it out.
This is good.
Punt that. Doug Baldwin. The theme of this punt that is loose lips sink ships. This dude was interviewed twice. First time he was interviewed about the drama with Russell Wilson. There's a locker room drama, rumors spreading around. And the question was asked to him that is Pete Carroll holding, I'm paraphrasing, Pete Carroll holding Russell Wilson accountable. And you know what Doug Baldwin answered? I don't know if he is or isn't. Doug, what do you mean you don't know it is or isn't? It's a simple answer for that. Michael Bennett got it. Say what you want about Richard Sherman, he got it. There ain't no problem. End of question. That's the answer. There's no problem. But Doug playing cute with the media. And you know what the media would do when you play cute or vague? They're going to assume the words and then spread the rumor even further. Doug Baldwin, what are you doing? Shut up. And then the second interview, you know what he said? He tried to backpedal, but the wrong way. He said that drama in the locker room makes a team better. So now you admitting. Guess what the follow-up question would be, Doug? So what kind of problems made your team stronger? How are you going to backpedal that one? Like you're now admitting. Bennett, Richard Sherman, there is no problems. We good. That's your answer, Doug Baldwin. Loose lips sink ship. Punt that.
No doubt, Sean. That's right. I got to say off my chest. Hey, Le'Veon Bell, 2 dozen-yard seasons, suspension on your resume, and the most important thing, Le'Veon Bell, 100% attendance is needed. Man, punt that. Stay your ass off the field. Get your ass in the camp. You want to get paid 100% attendance.
Man, I'm going to tell you something. I just got to say this quick before we start our show. Jeremy Maclin, this guy, he's got the balls to come out and tell the media, yeah, I think the Baltimore Ravens could really be something special. Okay, so you're going to tell me you think an organization could be really special, but yet you took a weekend off just to decide where you wanted to go. Punt that!
Funny.
You know what? I'm gonna follow up Tim with a little bit of punt that of my own, and that's 100% attendance and OTAs. You know what? These owners, these organizations, they need to give up the money. They sit there, they run these players ragged off of rookie contracts and say, oh, well, we'll extend it or we'll see later on what happens. And God forbid an injury occurs. So you know what? Don't go to minicamp. Don't go to OTAs. Forget 100% attendance and get your damn money. Punt that.
And I have to agree with that one.
That was a message for the New York Giants.
Don't leave the money. All right, well, we just got it. We got it off our chest. I had to say that. We all had to say it. And now we're going into the program. Colin Kaepernick. Tim, what's the word?
See, here's the thing. You know, me and Frogman have been going back and forth. So here's the thing. Being that this is my yard, I'm going to be a gentleman and let the guest of honor come in here and let him go first.
Oh, you're going to allow me to speak?
I want you to go first.
Okay, here's the problem, though. You're not going to be able to go after this is done.
I will. Trust and believe.
We'll see.
First of all, gentlemen, what's the main topic that we're arguing here? Is it that Colin Kaepernick just deserves to be on a roster per se?
Well, that's what I was just going to ask.
Okay.
What is it that you're exactly saying, Tim? Are we saying Colin Kaepernick is not being blackballed?
I'm saying as of right now, I don't feel he's being blackballed. That's what I'm saying right now.
Cool. So that's how we're going to run.
Okay.
That's how we're going to run. So
let's do it.
Before Tim even turns around and makes his case, before I make my case, I'm going to pose a question to the panel. And I want all you guys, including you, Tim, within 20 words or less, to answer what you want out of your backup quarterback. I'm not even going to talk about starter. What you want out of your backup quarterback.
I want a guy that basically he fits the same situation as my starter, that if my starter goes down, I do not have to change the whole playbook just to go just to win a couple more games till my starter comes back.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, in simplistic terms, someone who is serviceable and kind of mirrors the attributes of the starting quarterback already, in a sense, to accommodate the playbook. Sean? What do you think the backup quarter should be? What do you think? What do you want in your backup quarterback, Sean?
I mean, same thing what you guys stated, that at least understand the system, understand the playbook, serviceable, that can not, I mean, doesn't have to guarantee a win, but at least give a good shot of a win. And also someone that you know you can build up depending on the age of your quarterback and the years going. Is this a quarterback you want to replace, you know, be the leading franchise years to come, or you already have that, you know, quarterback that's, you know, in the beginning or somewhere in the middle franchise? You probably just want someone that can fill in the spot. So kind of the same logic what you guys are going for.
Okay, so let me dispel the first statistical fact about Colin Kaepernick. In the last 3 seasons between Jim Tomsula, Chip Kelly, and Jim Harbaugh, he's ran 3 different offensive systems. In those same 3 seasons, he has taken 70% of his snaps and passes out of the pocket as opposed to read option. Okay, so that dispels the theory that he's just a read option quarterback. He can actually operate in the pocket. Let's go further. With the backup quarterbacks and the statistics to prove it, you look at guys like Geno Smith, Blaine Gabbert, Austin Davis, Scott Tolzien, Mike Glennon, who got a humongous contract, and take the basics out of a backup quarterback. You want them to have a decent completion percentage. You want them to be able to win games for you, like you guys said, operate within the system, have not turned the ball over. So let's take completion percentage, touchdowns to interceptions, passer rating, and QBR, huge metrics that you will look at as for a backup quarterback and say, if this guy's good in these metrics, he should be able to back me up, correct?
Mm-hmm. I would say so.
Okay.
Yes.
So Colin Kaepernick has a 59 career completion percentage, 72 touchdowns to 30 interceptions, an 88.9 passer rating, and an above 65 QBR. Let's look at Geno Smith. Go ahead, Tim. You look shocked. You can Google while I talk. Don't worry.
I'm not shocked at all.
But Geno Smith, he completes at 57%. He has 28 touchdowns to 36 picks, so he doesn't actually control the ball well. He turns it over immensely. A 72% passer rating, and he's below 50 in QBR. Blaine Gabbert, the guy who got a job over in Arizona, whose job was taken by Kaepernick last season. He has a 56% as far as completion percentage is concerned. He's got 38 touchdowns to 37 picks. Again, Cap 72 to 30. A 71 passer rating, and his QBR is below 40. Austin Davis, the guy that wound up in Seattle, he completes 62% of his passes, but he's got 13 touchdowns to 12 picks, an 80 quarterback rating, and a below 45 QBR. Scott Tolzien, the backup over in Indianapolis, this guy's completing 61% of his passes. He's got 2 touchdowns to 7 picks, a 66 quarterback rating, and he's below 30 on a QBR rating. And then Mike Glennon, Mr. Big Contract, go to Chicago, be the transitional quarterback, right? 59%, same with Colin. 30 touchdowns to 15. So Colin actually has a better touchdown interception ratio than he does. An 84 rating and an above 60 QBR. So he's the closest to Colin Kaepernick. I can go further with backup quarterbacks and the statistics and the numbers. And the bottom line is Colin Kaepernick is going to be better than 90% of those backup quarterbacks. And Glennon's not a backup now. They're actually going to have him be a starter. Okay? So now that I got the numbers out the way, because if anyone else wants to look at other statistics, hey, listen, it's on the wall up there. I posted it objectively biased, and I went off on that topic in regards to the numbers. There's no need to talk any more statistics. Let's talk impact and why he's being blackballed. And I'm going to give you 2 names, Jackie Robinson and Curt Flood. And I'm going to give you these 2 names because they did something significant. Now, Jackie Robinson is more known for being significant as far as being the first black player in baseball. He integrated the game. But he was also a first at challenging the status quo of a country, of a culture that was in that baseball environment. And in his biography, he even said he hated his life while he was playing baseball. And sometime afterwards, he contemplated suicide because he was made to pay for being the first to challenge that status quo. He was made to pay by other owners and teams, the fans, the other teams. He was made to pay professionally and socially with a decision that he made along with Branch Rickey. Curt Flood. Curt Flood said, I'm done being traded. I'm done moving around. He played for 4 different baseball teams. And when he landed in St. Louis, he had established his family there. Now, Curt Flood's relevance, in 1998, the Curt Flood Act opened up, pun intended, the floodgates to free agency in baseball and eventually in all sports. It's why these players are able to have the choices that they have now. But he fought that for 26 years. He was exiled from baseball, blackballed from baseball. He had to leave this country because of what he did and what he was fighting, the fact that he sued the game and the owners. He challenged the status quo of not only a culture in a sport, but a country. Colin Kaepernick is challenging the status quo of a culture in the sport of football and one of the country. The NFL is all about the symbol, protecting the shield. It's all about the shield. Well, ironically, Colin Kaepernick became a symbol. He became symbolic for what he protested for. And he's being punished for it. If you don't think he's being punished for it, again, I just gave you historical reference, but let's go further to the fact of what the culture of football is. NFL owners came out and spoke against what he was doing. Players like Drew Brees came out and spoke against what he was doing. League office officials, some were quoted as making a parallel comparison of Ray Caruth to Colin Kaepernick. Now, for those of you watching that don't understand what Ray Caruth did, he killed his pregnant girlfriend. Yet somehow that was comparable to what Colin Kaepernick did in silent protests. Let that sink in. So when you sit back and say it's all about statistics, it's all about numbers, if Colin Kaepernick was a better quarterback and had starter potential on one of the top 15 to 20 teams in the NFL, then maybe, Tim, you're right. He might get signed in August. But as of right now, I'm going to tell you this firmly. He played his last play last season. He's done in the NFL. He will no longer set foot on a football field wearing a helmet or a jersey because he is the first to challenge the status quo in this sport in this way, and he will be made to pay for it. Your turn.
That's it. Okay. First of all, I just want to, before I say my message, I want to be very clear. I have no issues of Colin Kaepernick's protest. I'll make that very clear. The message he's saying, the reason why, I'm agreeing with it. Now, this is how I'm going to start off. To those of you fans out there, and the ones in 2MW who's watching right now, I'm going to say this. With the way the NFL operates during football, please understand what they do. Okay? Here's the thing. What Colin Kaepernick did last year, and as a black community that I'm part of, okay, we loved it. We appreciate it. But in my opinion, it doesn't mean he deserves an NFL job. In my opinion, he deserves a bigger spot where he can help us. We can help each other. We can follow for what he's saying. He's a leader. It's a difference. Okay, now I want to start off by Fogman. I appreciate everything you said, and a lot of things I've learned from your statement. No disrespect, but you said the QBR rating over 65, and as I look at my notes, it went from 71, 76, 69, 67, 47, and then last year was 55 a total QBR rating. When I see those numbers, I'm seeing drop. Okay, and I want to read you something. Okay, this is Colin Kaepernick's scouting report when coming out the NFL draft. This is a scout now. I question his ability to read a defense. He is too careless with his passes. The stats may not back the thought up, but he turns the ball over far too often in the red zone. A college red zone is as close as a simulation to an NFL if you're going to find. Windows are small and decisions have to be made quickly. Like a lot of quarterbacks, Kaepernick won't be able to play in the same offense he did in Nevada, meaning the pistol offense, something like what Tim Tebow was going through if we know our history. I want to read something else to you. Now, I'm talking about a Hall of Famer, Kurt Warner, who took his time out because, Colin Kaepernick needed help. The scouting report just told you he needed help. This is after the Super Bowl. After the Super Bowl hero led the 49ers there from what everybody think happened, Kurt Warner came to the rescue. And this is what Kurt Warner had to say. There's a lot for Cap to work on. But when things like this pop up over and over again, it can grow frustrating. These kind of issues are but a couple of many reasons Cap has found himself benched. Some of the reasons are on him, some are not. Whatever the case is, the whole situation remains a mess. field. I'm gonna give you another one. Kurt Warner comes out and says, I believe he's at a fair advantage when he come out to the league because nobody has ever taught him how to play quarterback. Okay? Now, we're talking about a quarterback who has started only 2 full seasons. All right? 2 full seasons, 1 winning season. Okay? December 4th, 2016, when Colin Kaepernick first got benched, of 1 of 5 passing yards. Finish the day 1 of 5. Does everybody know what that means? Finish the day of 1 and 5. Not the first quarter, not the second quarter, not the first half, the end of the game. Okay? Kyle Shanahan believes it's because of the fact that his next team will have to cater to its offense to fit around him. Meaning, he comes in here, I got to change the whole shit around for one guy. That means everybody got to change the way they move for Colin Kaepernick. And we had all just said in the beginning, when Fogman clearly asked us all the question, what do we want in the backup? And everybody said, we want somebody who could take over and cater to the offense, not cater to the quarterback. 2 different things there. Fogman also said with the protest, with the 2 guys he mentioned, I'm going to give you a guy named Carlos Delgado from the Blue Jays who played in Major League Baseball. He had protests the day of 9/11, stood in the dugout. Okay? He played 5 years after that with the New York Mets. Wait, he didn't get cut. He didn't get released. He played 5 years later. So that shows you can stand up for whatever you believe in. But here's the kicker. Everybody wants to have an excuse and say, because he protests, he deserves a job. I don't get that. I really don't get that. Everybody want to name the backup quarterback.
Tim, hold on a second.
Wait, hold on a second.
Don't put words in my mouth. At no point in time have I said he deserves a job because of the protest. Statistics. It's you and I debating. I could give a flying fuck about anybody else right now.
I never said you. I'm saying the overall audience, not you. Everything I said, you already said. Now, here's the thing. Okay, when it comes down to when it comes down to Colin Kaepernick, all right. Yes, he has been to a Super Bowl in 2012-13 season. But the thing is this, his quarterback has dropped. You need a system. Last year, he went 16 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Now, was it his best year? Yeah, it was a good year. Around what? Of offense that doesn't come every offense. It's the same type of offense that Michael Vick played in that he looked great, even though Michael was a better quarterback overall, in my opinion, but still in all. Again, he does not deserve a job because he protests. And you know what? A lot of hypocrites out there, mainly someone in 2MW was coming out saying, oh, yeah, he deserves a job. He went 2014 to a Super Bowl. And guess what? In the year 2015, the only sister, Miss Sarita Thomas, if you're out there listening, was the only 49er fan that stuck with that dude. And guess what? While everybody was trashing him, saying he sucks, he needed to be traded, he needed to be released, I'm going to be respectful for what I was asked, not to name any names, but you know who you are. Understand this. Another thing I got to get off my chest. If you want to blame Colin Kaepernick for not being signed right now, point the finger at yourselves. You know why? Yet. Because here's the thing. I keep hearing sources, rumors, sources. That's anybody. Okay, here's my thing. Like when it comes to Colin Kaepernick, okay, he's a backup quarterback. He's not somebody that had been rushed to be signed week 1 of free agency. None of that. Michael Vick was signed in August 3 times. Philadelphia Eagles, New York Jets. When the hell does football season start right after the NFL draft? Everybody's been evaluated. You got signed to free agency, you got the NFL draft, you're there right now evaluating the type of players you want. You go back in July with your coach, okay, we're gonna cut this guy, we're gonna cut that guy, we're gonna cut that guy. That's all it is. Now, we're mentioning Geno Smith. Did anybody evaluate where Geno Smith played for? The New York Jets. Do you see that team right now? Who do he have to succeed with? Nobody. But guess what? He's a better quarterback. He's not the type of quarterback that you got to cater. He caters to the offense. Okay, Mike Glennon, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He was there when it was rebuilding. New GM came in there, drafted Jameis Winston, #1 overall. How could you not? It happens. He's not the type of quarterback you have to cater to. These are quarterbacks that can stand in the pocket, and guess what? You don't got to really change anything.
Okay, but
that's
Tim,
that's the whole key thing.
But Tim, I just told you that 70% of his passes were out of the pocket passes. #1, you said, who did Geno Smith have? #2, Geno Smith had Brandon Marshall and Eric Decker. I challenge you. Who did Colin Kaepernick have? Who did Colin Kaepernick have?
Whoa. You said Geno Smith has Brandon Marshall and Eric Decker. Let me ask you this, Fogman. If I recall, you mean Fitzpatrick had both of them. Geno only had it for one game. The only place he had on his team that he started was Percy Harvin. That's it. He did not play a full season, not even 2 games with Brandon Marshall and Decker. He only played one half a game, torn ACL. Those are Fitzpatrick's players. This is what I'm trying to say. These guys were in bad situations. So instead of everybody want to name God.
But wasn't Colin Kaepernick in a bad situation, Tim? Can you name one of the receivers he was throwing to in the last 2 years?
Who's that? Kaepernick?
Yeah, wasn't he in a bad situation?
Go ahead, Sean.
Guys, can I jump in real quick? Before the debate go further, I just want to state, hey, if anyone want to dial in and chime in, we're almost 30 minutes into the show. The number is 718-313-5155. Dial in if you have any dime to drop or any 2 cents to add to this debate. Fellas, carry on. But basically what I have to say is I think both you guys have an argument for Colin Kaepernick. I don't think both of you guys are wrong. I think it's more nuances over here, and I think you guys are just screaming over each other. And I think the problem with Colin Kaepernick is he isn't the best quarterback, but although yes, there is a element of blackballing because with the evidence what Fogmate gave that owners feel this way about Colin Kaepernick, and to say that, well, the judgment on Colin Kaepernick have nothing to do with that biasy, that's a little bit naive to think that, they just never ever thought about it. But Colin Kaepernick isn't a star quarterback either. So
again, Sean, I presented my argument with him. I presented my argument with him as a backup quarterback. I didn't even present it.
Listen, the thing I'm trying to say is this, okay? Is Colin Kaepernick worthy of being in the NFL? Of course he is, without a doubt. I'm rooting for him for Jerry Jones to go sign him. The whole thing, what I was getting at before, is the reason why he is not signed. We got to point the fingers at us. When the man came out and said he would not protest, even though some people questioned that whole, wait a minute, you send a message, you protest one time, and that's it's over? Oh, no, because you got the message, you think you got the message across? People question that. I'm not questioning that. But here's the thing. When he says he stopped, why the hell we got folks protesting by Dwayne Reed, going to Manhattan, to the NFL. We having guys like Spike Lee in his Instagram. Oh, Colin Kaepernick has been signed for a 3-year deal. Y'all putting the spotlight on this brother here, and he's saying, yo, fall back and chill. You understand what I'm saying? He gets interviewed by Seattle. Now, here's another thing, which I don't get. If Colin Kaepernick's on the phone and his phone rings, ring, and they say, hey, this is the Seattle Seahawks. We are interested in you. You cannot tell me the man didn't register in his head Russell Wilson is the starting quarterback over there. The man took a flight all over to Seattle in an interview. I know, you know, some of us have felt, however you want to put it, what was said. But for Pete Carroll to come out and say he's a starting quarterback, in my opinion, I believe Kaepernick told Pete, listen, chance to start. Why? Because with the 49ers, when he redid his contract, remember that contract was stated that if he got hurt, he would get paid about 30, 40 mil. The same contract that RG3 had with the Redskins before end of his season. So what happened is that you don't want to play the guy so he don't get hurt and pay him that amount of money. Kaepernick redid his contract because he wanted to market himself. Market yourself to be a freaking backup.
Okay, so Tim, you sit here and you criticize people for making presumptions, yet you just made one yourself about the interview and how that process could have went in Seattle. Well, hold on a second. So
be clear what I said.
So
I didn't say
you said you believe that could have been the conversation. Okay.
Go ahead.
Now, if that was the conversation, then yeah, you're right. But there's no way that could have been the conversation. Because if he knew that Russell Wilson was his starter, why would he even waste his time flying out there to begin with? If I'm lobbying to be a starter at somewhere, and there's an established guy who's been to the Super Bowl 2 times and has won 1, I'm going to turn around and go there and assume that I'm going to take that position? Absolutely not. If I'm lobbying to be a starter, I'm not going over there to compete with an established guy, number one. Number 2, Pete Carroll did the politically correct thing by saying that. That's all he did. He was being politically correct, and there was nothing more to that. They did that interview, and Pete Carroll realized that that locker room was divided as it is, and there were people that actually wanted Kaepernick on the team, that it would have created even more of a shitstorm in that organization. Sorry.
There is no division in the locker room. I'm just having
that's what you're saying, Sean.
Wait, again, and you know what, Flag? Again, that's your
No, I'm stating the facts that have been put out there. I'm not stating an opinion. I'm not going based on what I believe the conversation could have been.
Bogman, you question the fact. See, you question the fact that why would he go all the way over there? And I'm trying to explain. Understand this. Was Colin Kaepernick we see now a couple of years ago? Let's go out of memory lane. We're talking about
Colin Kaepernick? Wait. Was Colin Kaepernick playing with the same players and the same defense playing?
Put the mute button on you, Fog Man. I'll let you speak.
Was he playing with the same players?
Hold on.
Was he playing with the same coaches?
Fog Man.
Don't be hypocritical, Tim. Don't be hypocritical. Don't be hypocritical, Tim.
Fog Man.
Tim, make it quick, though. You do talk too long. Make it quick.
I talk too long.
Go ahead, Tim. I'm quiet. Go ahead. Say what you gotta say.
My whole thing is this, man. Was Colin Kaepernick the same type of guy he was then? Wait, was he is now? No, he wasn't. This was the type of guy who was out there bless him. He got the money to do it. You understand what I'm saying? So back then, I could see him being choosy. Because guess what? He was on his way. He was on top of the world before the Super Bowl run. He was on top of the world. Now, when you're being questioned about your game, you're being threatened to be cut, you're going back and forth with ownership, who are you to be choosy not to answer a phone call to fly over Seattle and somebody want to talk to you? My whole thing is this. If he's a leader to do what he did last year and protest, which he is in my opinion, he's a leader, man, to tell the man, listen, I respect your interest, but I want a chance to start. I'm not trying to go out as a backup. He can believe in that if he wants. But and another thing also is
for you just said, who is he to be choosy about taking the phone call or not? But in the same breath, you're saying he can go over there and challenge to be a starting position.
Why not?
If he can't be choosy about where he goes because he wants to be a starter, then he damn sure can't be choosy about going somewhere where there's an established starter and saying, I want to be a starter.
I got to jump in. Trisha has a question. Trisha has a question. She just dropped a question on me. Did Vic sign in August straight up, or did the team he signed to suffer a significant injury at that position?
May I answer that one? Hey, Trisha, this is Spoonie here talking, and I'm going to say this right here. He was signed with no injuries at all. He was also being reported of being blackballed 3 times with the protest. We had the Philadelphia, the protest with the dogs when he first got in the league, and in Pittsburgh they were protesting being signed, and he still got signed in August off of no injuries.
And you want to know why he got signed, Tim? Because he didn't challenge the status quo, because he was locked up for 2 years and he was out of sight, out of mind. It was something that pissed off liberal dog owners in PETA, to be honest with you. There were probably conservatives turning around saying, you don't fight dogs, you use them to hunt duck and rabbit. So come on, stop it, Tim.
Hold on. No, hold on. We being rude. Hold on. We being rude. Josh hasn't even said. Let's hear Josh out. I'm sorry, Josh.
That's true. Judge been real quiet. What's good, bro?
Is this thing on? All right. I like both sides. You can make an argument for both sides of what's been said so far. Based on what's been said on both Fogg's and Tim's behalf right now, I think what stood out the most right now is that Fox, he used the word punished by the league. I don't really like that term, punished by the league. I can understand where he's coming from, but in a sense, the way I view it is you're gifted to be accepted into this league. This is one of the most high-profile jobs. This is... I mean, are you going to say when you go on a job interview and you don't get it that you're being punished by them because they don't see you fit for their business and their shield, that you may call it? I think we forget that because it's something that millions and millions of people watch every Sunday at home, and we're so faithful to our teams, we forget this is a straight up business, no different than what you and I go to work at 9 to 5 every single day. If they don't see that you're fit for their business and you're going to bring in money and you're going to cause no issues, they'll bring you in no problem. But if they see something wrong with you, even if it's one little red flag on your application history, I don't know. So I'm sorry, sir. We'll let you know. We'll call you. This is my argument, and this is what I'm going with, is that had he not, there's nothing wrong with the protest. Let me start off too, like Tim said. I agree with it. I am for what he's going for. I'm even inundated. I would send him fan mail about what he's doing, because what he's doing right now, I can guarantee there's nobody else in the world that's giving as much as he is, helping the kids as much as he is, giving as much info about just how to be. You know, he's amazing right now. And I think that's another thing that this business is looking at. Is he really interested in football, or is he already, I made my decision of what I want to do in life. I'll do this here on the national stage, get my attention, and then I'll go from here and I'll do my, right to know camp, all that shit. I'll be an activist per se. And then I'll see, if the league still accepts me, awesome. I'll still play a little football. His stats, if you look at it, I know you guys love stats because you were talking about it earlier. His completion percentage isn't even better than Christian Ponder. And we all think Christian Ponder is dirt. Now imagine if Christian Ponder, because he is still a backup, right? I believe actually with San Fran, believe it or not, he's still holding a clipboard there. But let's imagine that Christian Ponder came out with something on the national stage on Monday Night Football. Christian Ponder, what the hell is he doing? He's putting up his fist for whatever the hell it is, White Lives Matter, because he comes out with his whole special spiel or whatever that he might come out with. Is he going to be on a roster after that? Hell to the hell no. You know why? Because the business doesn't see him fit, because here we are. There's a panel of us 4 right now, and we're already going back and forth. What do you think a locker room of grown-ass men with the same-ass opinions as us going back and forth? Do you think all 53 men in that locker room will agree with each other on Colin and his actions? Probably not. Everyone comes from different backgrounds, and I'm sure that alone, having a player like that in your locker room, even though it should be agreed upon about what he's doing, I can guarantee all 53 are not going to be on the same page. And I think owners and GMs also think about that too, about how their employee base is going to work with individual X coming into the scene. That right there might cause a little frustration with some of the members already in the locker room. I'm not saying it's right.
Guys,
But Josh, doesn't that
one second.
reiterate and reinforce what I'm saying about him being blackballed, though? What you
One
just
second.
said?
1 second. Trisha, you there?
Oh, I'm here because I had to call in.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is right here in the debate right now is that Bogmeg is debating whether or not he's being blackballed. Tim is debating whether he should have a job, period. Right? And it sounded like that was Josh was saying, well, it's a business.
Well, I'll tell you right now, he's not being blackballed because it is a business. If the business doesn't see you fit, are you really being blackballed, or is it just their profitable outlook on this?
But that is
hold on, Trish. That's debatable because they're his business.
I think it's the wrong word to
and what
use.
we do is completely different. What he
If you were being blackballed in the league, don't you think maybe people would come after Colin a little harder? Maybe refs wouldn't, call flags on him
he's
as
not
much.
as expendable as we are.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think that let's Trisha finish the thought.
I need to finish, and then I'll drop off because the blackballing doesn't have to happen within the game, right? The blackball could happen in the system, right? And so that's why people are complaining now because we understand the system has a time mechanism. Like your debate about Vic.
There's players right now with systematic problems playing right now. There's a player that just got drafted that hasn't even touched the field yet with a systematic problem.
Well, what was that, Trisha?
I didn't hear that part, but but basically what I'm saying is Tim is leaving out that Vic served time, right? And time kind of heals, sometimes. Time sometimes heals the hurt, whether it's real or not, imaginary, that people have against another person. It's like
sight, out of mind.
Same thing that let's take a non-protest situation where like you see LeBron leaves and then Dan Gilbert writes this thing that offends his whole family and he's away for 4 years and then he's like, you know what? I'm coming back to the bigger picture. That time didn't heal, you didn't forget, but you let them back in.
Time
right?
healed because he came back.
The situation, right?
That's not a good comparison really to use.
Yeah,
Actually, it is. Take Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali did something that was outlandish when he challenged the status quo with going to the military. And after he lost his job for 3 years.
Everybody's talking over each other. Hold a second.
I just want to say something.
Mm-hmm.
Like Tim is misconstruing Pete Carroll's response to fit his idea of Colin Kaepernick that it has an ego about his past success and thinks that he should be starting, and that's why everything got messed up. So I want to read exactly what Pete Carroll said because I think that's key. He said he's a starter in this league. We have a starter, but he is a starter in this league. And I can't imagine somebody won't give him a chance to play. That's not a response from somebody that got a call or got a response from a quarterback with an ego that can't really play, that shouldn't be playing, that wasted his time on the phone, right? That's not a response that somebody gives. If that's what happened on the phone, and you're saying this because you want to fit your argument that saying that he's coming in and he's bigger than he is, when Pete Carroll, his words don't fit what you're saying. Because if Colin Kaepernick came on the phone and said, "Yo, I'm a starter," all Pete said would have to say is he doesn't fit in our system. Other options. Pete didn't have to go above and beyond and repeat, because this is a pattern that you do to get it into his head.
Imagine if Pete said no to that.
Can I say something? Can I say something? Can I say something? I behaved today, Sean. I've been behaving. I've been quiet. I haven't interrupted nobody.
Just imagine if Pete said no to that, though, Tim. Carry on for me.
No, please. Here's the thing. Okay, and I'm gonna say, what I said before. If you got a phone call from wherever he was at, and the Seattle Seahawks want you to come in for an interview, you already know in the top of your head, okay, who's over there. You already know in Kaepernick's mind, if he didn't want to go over there, if he didn't want to say anything X, Y, and Z, or like, people say whatever, he didn't have to go over there. He went over there out of respect, sat down with Pete Carroll. I'm pretty sure during the conversation, I know he didn't ask him, so how's your workout been doing? How's the kids and how's the family? It was football related. And I'm pretty sure the way Kaepernick has matured, this is what I was saying before, compared to Kaepernick now from the past, he was running around like a diva. He has matured as a man and took a stand. So I wouldn't put it past me if the man said, "Be Carroll, sir, I'm not saying I want to be the starter of your team now. I want a chance." Because again, Fogman did say earlier, he played in different systems, right? Did you say that, Fogman? 3 different systems. Okay, so here's the thing. I have said for the past 4 months, Seattle Seahawks have a system that fits Colin Kaepernick. If we all see how Russell Wilson operates, we can see Colin Kaepernick do the same thing. Even though Russell is a better quarterback in the pocket, if Russ goes down, Kaepernick could give you some time. But here's the thing.
So why didn't Seattle sign him?
Because here's the thing, Fogman, here's the thing. The key thing I said earlier. You want to market yourself as a quarterback. All right, when you go shopping, I want everybody, when you go shopping, do you buy the first thing you see, or do you look around and see that the one you got, the one you're going to see later is better than the one that you're going to get that you wanted previously? That's the difference. You don't buy the first thing you see. Listen there, you do not buy the first thing you see. You compare it. So probably right now, he's falling back. I'm away, because here's the thing. Austin Davis is nothing more but a camp body. Nothing means nothing. It don't mean shit in June and July. It means everything in August. So when August comes and you see that new rule in place where it says 55-man roster, you have to drop down to 55. In the years past, it was 95, 75, now 55. From 95 to 55 gives every NFL team a chance to get a guy they want. And I'm telling you guys right now, Colin Kaepernick will be on a team. But here's the thing. We don't know anything right now what Kaepernick really wants. And I'm going to laugh at everybody right now. I'm going to laugh at y'all if he ever comes out and say these things. This team has wanted me the past 3 years. Give me some. Hold on, Sean.
Someone joined the call.
No, hold on, Sean.
Nothing you said just made any sense. You realize that, right?
Okay.
Because you think he's shopping around for
It's not like he's looking for a car, Tim. He's looking for a job, and he's looking for 30. It's not like we're looking. It's not like us looking for jobs or positions.
Nobody said. Again. Let me reset what I said. Let me reset what I said.
Him.
No.
Big difference, Tim.
Oh, what's your mute button, Sean? Where's your mute button? Because I'm the one getting cut off.
Here's
I
the
didn't
thing.
finish my last statement.
Here's the thing, guys. Here's
my thing. Listen. I never said Colin Kaepernick was shopping around. What I did say is he is waiting to see what comes around. You do not buy the first thing you see.
Well, that's the difference. Tim, that's the same.
Oh, is that the same thing?
That
It
is.
is. If you
All
don't
right,
buy
listen.
the first thing you see, if I'm shopping, I'm
Okay, so-
buying.
okay,
If
now
I'm
here's the
waiting
thing.
for something, that's
When does the
completely
season start?
different.
Hold on, guys.
So hold on. So Frogman, if Colin Kaepernick is signing August, was he being blackballed still?
Who?
Are we gonna come here and say he's blackballed?
Who are you talking about?
No, if Colin Kaepernick gets signed in August, or he says, I've been with this team for the past 2 or 3 months, we've been talking, are we gonna say he's blackballed? Is everybody gonna write an apology letter?
You're being
To
presumptuous.
say, oh, we're sorry, he wasn't being blackballed? We speak too soon.
But Tim, you can't make that as an argument. You're right. That's being presumptuous. What you can't say is a bet. Let's see what happened, because what you're doing is predicting. You can't make a prediction. Your argument that is not fact yet, so you can't say.
Okay.
All right.
So
But
wait a minute.
We can make that as a
they're assuming.
yeah.
Assuming we both know wrong.
You can't make that an argument. That's being presumptuous.
But they're assuming.
Tim, your assumptions are based on just that, assumptions. I put
My
historical
assumption is
facts
the
behind
bottom
my
of
assumptions. What facts did you put behind yours?
Well, put it as
Oh my God.
I just want to say something to Cooper, because Cooper said Kaepernick, my Christian Ponder comparison. He said Kaepernick obviously has had some success in the league. That's why. But a lot of people overlook the fact that San Fran during 2012 and 2013, when Kaepernick actually went to the playoffs and had his little runs, San Francisco total defense was like number 2 and number 3 in those years. We all know what a good defense does. Last year, Cooper, our Giants, dead last in offense, and what does our defense do? Carry us to a 10-6 record? Same thing in San Fran. You can be mediocre quarterback and have your defense carry you to a 12-4, 11-5 season.
And Josh, Mayor and Cooper, you my brother out there, Coop. One love, Coop. No disrespect, bro. You know how we do. Coop. Cooper says right now, Colin Kaepernick can be a good quarterback. That means he is not right now.
Also, Tim, I want to add in Tyrod Taylor. I know we've brought him up in the past on the show and in 2MW. We've a lot of voices, I would say probably close to 80-90%, even Bills fans have said, I don't know if Tyrod Taylor is that guy. And what do we know? Let alone this season, earlier in the year, they actually cut his contract. They give him a cut because he's that kind of quarterback to where he shouldn't be earning that much. And let's look at his stats real quick. 37-14 touchdown interception ratio. If you do the numbers, that's actually a little higher than Colin Kaepernick. And he actually got a contract cut. That's weird. And he's kind of the same style player, isn't he? Rush round, kind of, pass second, not a very good mobile down the field passer a little bit.
Well,
he's got a better rating though, so that might help, right? When it comes to stats.
But you know what, guys? Here's the thing. I think everybody on this panel is correct, and I think that's a point that we're missing in this whole argument. That it's not to say that Colin Kaepernick is a star player and it's just ridiculous that he's not on the team now. But it's also not to say that the biasy by his protest had nothing to do with the judgment or decisions. I think there's a lot of nuances when it comes to life, and especially when it comes to Colin Kaepernick, it's all of the above. It is the system, because he's not an easy quarterback to fit a general system. You got to cater a system for him. It is also his stats. I mean, not to say he's horrible, but he's not because he's been around for a while. He should be a starting quarterback, but his stats as starting quarterback is iffy. Maybe, but maybe he could be a backup quarterback.
I just want to summarize my main idea real quick before Tim and Fox get into their final bash, bro.
Go ahead.
To summarize my aspect of the night, I do believe Kaepernick is capable of being a backup absolutely in this league. I don't think he should be a starter, but a backup, I absolutely think he's capable of doing that. But it comes down to the NFL being a business and each team being their own business. They make income. They bring in money. If they believe that person is going to bring some controversy and might hamper their sales, hamper their ticket sales, hamper parking lot visits, hamper revenue, whatever, they're not going to bring him in. And I think that's just one of the main issues here is that it's a business, and that's the fun. Nothing wrong with Kaepernick, what he did, but they're looking at it like, our fans, they're all going to bicker about it. Let's not even deal with it. So,
and that's part of being blackballed as well. I mean, it's a business decision.
Thank you, Josh.
I want to.
I guess I just don't like that.
I mean,
you know what it is?
It's Josh. When it's a sport that you like, and you enjoy watching, and you have to you use a term that he's being punished or he's being blackballed, and you sit back and you go, "Damn, are they really doing that?" But when you again, even from a business aspect, the business aspect is a direct result of what he did, not who he is as a player.
May I say this?
Go ahead.
My thing with the black ball is that, I think it should be used when Colin Kaepernick being on the team is done. And right now it takes June 14, 2017. We still have the whole month of July. We still got August. I've never heard of the excuses of, no, he needs to be on the team now. If you're saying that, no disrespect to anybody, you haven't been following the NFL for too long, or the sport, no disrespect. Another thing I have to say is this: if this was a Russell Wilson, Donovan McNabb, or Cam Newton who protest, then we would have a bigger light of to say who's the NFL's blackballing. Why? Because those guys I just mentioned are great quarterbacks, not just great athletes, great quarterbacks. When you have a guy who's getting bashed, and now Sean came out and mentioned experience. The only experience that man had was his highlights from going to the Super Bowl, which Josh just said the top defense all time during that year. Every year it was injuries. It was back and forth with management. Nothing really came to light once Chip Kelly came in. If we had like five teams right now who had Chip Kelly type offense, then we could argue a little bit. Chip Kelly right now is doing college football. He's an announcer. He's not there. So therefore, we have to evaluate a team situation. I'm tired of seeing things like, how come Jared Goff got a job? Did you watch the NFL draft? Duh. He's the #1 overall pick. Did we not see how many draft picks they invested to get the guy? How are we going to – oh, wait a minute. This guy got a job. Duh. Tony Romo got hurt. Kellen Moore got hurt. Do you watch the game?
Tim, you're addressing something that's completely stupid. What you're addressing, if anybody was questioning that, then you should befriend them.
Wait, Fog. I'm not saying you. See, here's the thing.
No, I'm not. I didn't apply it to me. But what you're saying doesn't make any sense because it doesn't pertain. If someone was actually questioning that, then their football knowledge is worth about as much as toilet paper. So get rid of them. It doesn't matter.
Fogman, you just said it right there, Fogman. See, here's the thing. I was asked to be nice today. You hear me? You feel me? I was asked to be nice today. That I would share with you, with Josh and Sean, between ourselves, so we could drink some beer and fucking laugh at that shit. I didn't say.
Let me just reiterate another fact, because I know you talked about the Carlos Delgado protest. That actually didn't become public until almost 2 or 3 years after the fact. Understand that. That was made public knowledge 2 to 3 years after the fact, if you look up that information.
All right, but here's my thing, Fog. May I ask you this? Even because it went public knowledge, that means the media about it. So are you telling me that if the media found out and kept on pushing the buttons, he would have not been on the baseball team? I'm just asking the question.
There is a possibility, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so hold on, Sean, hold on. So with that said right there, point of what I've been saying, when Kaepernick said he's not protesting this year, the media and us as the fans won't leave it alone.
The damage had been done with what he did. Statements had come out already.
Okay, but Tim,
statements had come out already.
Right. You have to understand something. It was a season ago, not even a year ago, his protests. The other example he gave, years have passed
Okay.
Even with the Muhammad Ali, he was vilified. It's only a decade where now he became a hero. So when you make examples of those after the fact, you're talking about years of, digesting it, public opinion change, or they did time. People say, oh, he went to jail for what he did with Vic and all and that. But Kaepernick, a year hasn't passed yet. And you have to also understand that the subject matter is still very divisive in this country.
Okay.
It's not like this subject matter is like, why are we still talking about this? We actually moved on. We haven't. So you can't say that time has passed and it's over with. It's not over with. Police brutality is still
all right.
argument. So even Josh admitted that, hey, fans still are divided on this. Do you want to bring someone to the team that will make up fans divided on this? That's a business decision, maybe not to. So that's also to tell you that time hasn't passed long enough.
May I say something? May I say something, please? Here's the thing. We have seen many different free agency signings when guys have their crazy thing. I even mentioned Greg Hardy for what he was accused of. Okay, a man who beat up a female. We have guys in the team who don't stand for that. Any guy who was signed as a free agent who has had a troubled past, best believe is discussed on a team. No matter the team is always going to probably ask, or if not, the owner doesn't have to discuss with the team. He just bring them right on. And the whole thing is this: it depends on the culture. If the man is here to play football and that team is just want to play football and forget what his personal life, whatever he did was, you could definitely be healed. Now, here's my question to everybody here. Because here's the thing. I want something stamped in 2MW Fury to get back on this tape. I want something stamped. If Colin Kaepernick has not spoken, his trainer has and his agent has, which means nothing. Okay. So if Colin Kaepernick gets signed, it's three questions I'm asking. If Colin Kaepernick gets signed by a team and he states he's been talking to this team for about a month, how are you gonna feel, Fogman? How are you gonna feel, Josh and Sean?
Before you answer that question, I have to make this, point clear. When you brought up the examples of domestic abuse, sadly, America forgets about that very quickly.
Yeah.
But
okay. All right.
But
because it's a part of the damn culture.
Racial subject matter, that is very divisive. So you can't.
Okay. Can we answer the question?
You can't compare those two. But okay.
All right. Can we
if that happens to him, I'll say you're right, and I'll give you credit for that, and I'll buy.
No, I want to hear.
How about that?
No, see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm not about I told you so, I'm right or wrong. I want to know your personal feelings. For everything you've been saying from now, how would you feel then if Colin Kaepernick gets signed and he's been stating he's been talking to that team? How would you feel?
It wouldn't really change so much because it's like I said, everybody's argument is correct with me. There's nuances. It's not like it's only X, it's only Y, there's only Z.
Okay.
It's X, Y, Z, Y.
I feel good for the guy. He got signed. He was in negotiations with somebody. Again, it wasn't something that came to the surface. So good for him. Doesn't mean he still wasn't being blacklisted or blackballed by 31 other teams.
So. Oh wow.
But
Josh?
that's true. That's true, though.
Yeah, I mean,
wow.
What? Like,
right? It's hard to go. I mean,
I was blackballed. Wait a minute. All these guys interview me. They blackballed. Wow. So if means T.O. and
I
Michael
guess it's just
blackballed because everybody didn't want
to. How strong the word is that maybe we just don't.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe that's the problem I'm having with it. Like, I feel it's more extreme than it sounds. Or
here, let's use this as an example because Tim just mentioned T.O. If T.O. was one of those borderline guys, and this guy's got statistics that maybe he could be a Hall of Famer or maybe he couldn't. Is he a Hall of Famer? Is he voted in?
No, hold on.
No. Answer the question. Is he voted in?
The Hall of Fame don't value wide receivers like that.
Stop it. If he's borderline,
that I can understand.
It's a no.
For me, I feel that's more
because his attitude was trash.
Right.
When you have somebody that's at that, there's something that his statistics say he should be, but
all wide receivers don't go in the first try.
No, I'm not talking about the first try. This guy's a Hall of Fame player, hands down. But he's gone now. He's going to go 3 tries, and he's not going to be in.
We're not.
Now we're talking about Colin Kaepernick. No, you're talking about the situation of being blackballed.
Let me just say this:
Colin Kaepernick isn't Tom Brady.
Oh my God! Again,
let me say this.
If Cam Newton, McNabb, or Russell Wilson were the quarterback and they protested, take a picture.
Tim, please, let's not do another example.
Wow.
We're going to be arguing in circles. We made our point. We're going to be arguing in circles.
So, Josh, that means. Oh wow! You're black.
We're going to be arguing in circles.
Phone.
Josh, go ahead.
Blackball definition: reject, typically by means of a secret ballot. To me, it doesn't sound like he's being blackballed. Even for Terrell Owens, that argument, he's being rejected right now. Yes. Is he really being banned yet, though? No, because I mean, he still has time to make it in the future. There's going to be.
Okay, well,
I guess you could make that argument, but
you know what, Josh, you are right, because this is the point I was trying to get, is the definition, because that is the maybe the Oxford definition, or maybe a general definition of blackball. But what we're saying is, well, me and Fogme is saying that. With his social activity, it's weighed in their decision of do we accept them or not. Mm-hmm. And it's part of the equation. Yes, I believe his stats part of the equation. Mm-hmm. Yes, the business standpoint is also part of the equation. But to say that, the biasy of his activism, it has nothing to do with it, I think that's being a little naive, because managers and owners have displayed their biasy, hard body on Kaepernick, and to think that it had nothing to do with the business decision.
I never listen. When Wagner said owners. Here's the thing. Only one owner, to my knowledge, went public, and that was Bidwell from the Arizona Cardinals. He's the one who came out and said that he would not rather win a Super Bowl than have Kaepernick on the team, something like that. That's one guy. Now, just because the media goes owners and sources, let's think about it. Okay, if like everybody got on me with Odell Beckham Jr. holding out in camp, if he's not saying it, we got nothing to worry about.
But Tim, but we're
forget though. Hold on, Sean, listen what I'm saying. What matter is what comes to the horse's mouth. Everybody knows
you're being unfair because you made assumptions for your arguments. We're making assumptions as well for our argument, but now you're saying, well, you're making assumptions. So
again, Sean, I'm responding to what Fogman said on nerves. That's me.
We're assuming this is a culprit.
Today, I didn't interrupt nobody. See, today I didn't interrupt nobody. I was nice.
I have to correct
Sean.
You can't dismiss one opinion and then you give the same kind of opinion for your argument. You're giving the same kind of opinions for your argument and then saying that,
what argument? I'm saying the fact of what the owner said.
Tim, we're assuming this is the culture and the
again, may I finish what I was? Here's the thing: is if I didn't say the full story, how can you debate me of what I say half? I didn't think
you're saying that if you didn't hear from their mouths, that's not what they're saying.
No, that's not what I said. See?
Okay, then continue.
Now, again, here's what I was saying again.
Okay.
Frogman said the owners. And what I'm saying is the only owner that publicly came out and spoke with his name on it, when he stepped out with his chest, he has said he would not sign Kaepernick. He'd rather not even win a Super Bowl. So that tells me, okay, Bidwell does not want him. He's mad about the protest. Want other owners. Now, just because the media says owners, everybody's so fast to blame everybody. And my whole thing is this: the media is out. The media are the king of the trolls. They're out there to make a story. If you fought, if you pass gas, they're gonna say you shit it on yourself.
Oh, well, you
Tim,
said
I got a question for you, Tim.
that you're
In
arguing
32 owners in the NFL, they're a part of an exclusive club.
Yes, sir.
If you don't think that
Yes,
one
sir.
owner was echoing the sentiments of almost 75 to 80% of other owners in that exclusive club, you're delusional.
I can't hear you. The last
I
word.
said if you don't believe that one owner in an exclusive club of 32 was echoing similar sentiments to at least 80% of the owners in that club, you're delusional.
So that means believing means assuming. You assume that.
Hey, now you're making.
No, I'm actually 5 minutes.
That's our argument. We're assuming that's the case.
Okay, but here's again.
So-
This is what I'm trying to say. Earlier, wait, hold on, Sean. Sean, earlier you just said I should not be predicting.
I did not
If I should be predicting,
say that. I did not. I said you're making your argument on predictions. We are too. But yet you're dismissing our prediction and emitting your prediction.
Here's what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is this: if Fogman just said he believes that happened, now I got ragged on for believing the conversation with Pete Carroll is the same thing. The only thing that matters, and you know what? Where's Della at? Because here's the thing: Della said the one. Wait,
we're making opinions. We're making opinions, Tim, and you can't just say, "Well, you got to get it from the horse's mouth," because if it's not, then that argument cannot be valid. But we're making assumptions just like you.
I gotta get another beer.
Oh?
I gotta say.
Yeah, we gotta end this. What's that?
Hi.
Trisha?
I gotta say, man. Kaepernick, if you out there, Cap, Jerry Jones, we want you in Dallas.
Wait.
Please say something.
I just wanted to basically reiterate what Fogman just said, and Tim, you know we've already pre-talked about this in days in advance. Management is a funny beast, right? And the way that you're asking for validation doesn't fit with corporate America. You want for every coach, right, or every manager or team owner, right? And Josh said, you know, earlier in the show that every team is its own business. In order to prove that what we're saying is right, you want 32 different businesses to come out and speak about this topic. Some owners want to do it, some owners don't. Some managers, like they don't have the mentality to share. Some just don't give a fuck. The one that spoke within that circle didn't give a fuck, because you know what? Kaepernick will never be on that team.
That team.
Right? He don't have to hide anything.
That team.
Based on his culture,
Sean,
business.
Something. May I have permission to ask for something, please?
Right? He's in the inner circle, though, Tim. That's how management works. They work together, right? And the sentiment is shared. You really shouldn't really say anything, but the person that doesn't give a damn. But like everybody knows that one in the team or that one in the circle is the one that's just gonna do whatever they want, and they know this.
May I ask this? May I ask you something, Sean?
To give you an individual response, because that's not how they operate on that level.
All right, what Tim has a question. What's that question, Tim?
Here's my question, Trisha. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Fogman said owners spoke. And what I did was clarify that only one owner spoke. So just because one owner spoke, one owner came out and said that he does not want Kaepernick, that means that should mean the Cardinals don't want him. It doesn't speak for every other team that wants him. You just said a team, that owner doesn't have to speak if they don't want to, which is all true. We don't know anything yet. My question to you is, Trish, where's the timetable in your opinion that Kaepernick should be signed?
Oh yeah, but now you're changing the subject.
No. I made it stick. Sean, I asked Trisha, Sean, please.
I'll answer. They're two different things, right? So the first thing is
please.
all the owners not coming out, and I already addressed that, Tim. You're asking for a result that will never happen. But I'm saying it because not in, like I said, not in football, but I'm experienced in management, right? We not talking. You don't deserve to get a response.
Right. No, can you answer?
Why do we owe you in a response?
Okay, I'm very clear that. Can you answer the second question?
Because it's business. It's business, right? So if I say something and I got 10,000 seats in my arena for people that support and 8,000 that don't support Kaepernick, why even put my opinion out there to rile that up? Right?
I understand that. But can you answer the second question?
And he didn't give a fuck. He's
Now,
not gonna say it. He's not gonna say it, right? Or he did the cost benefit. He said, "Yo, if I even say anything like the 5,000 people that don't want to support me, like they're not gonna give up their tickets." Like
actually, I believe Fox came out and said that he believed the other guys said the same thing, but it won't come out public.
That you want because of the culture of management, and so I'm putting it out there because you're not gonna get it. The second thing with Kaepernick, the timing is crucial. If your question was if he was talking to a team, or he gets signed, and
no. My question is, in your opinion, what's the timetable that he should have been signed? He be signed.
So it's hard for me to answer that question because my point in this whole debate isn't about him being signed, but I need validation that he is even being given a look. All right. I'm not signing, right? And I think that's another part that's kind of that your opinion is that everybody wants him signed. My opinion is that he's given a look to believe in the NFL to make sure the NFL is not stalling on him. They don't have to sign.
Hold on.
Said earlier with Pete Carroll.
Wait a minute.
I want more people shopping. That's all.
Wait a minute.
I need you equate it to shopping. I need to see more people shopping. I just need it. I'm not necessarily saying.
Didn't the Giants owners speak too?
No, listen. Fogman, can I actually back me up on this, Fogman, real quick? Can I actually back me up? I recall you saying earlier in our recent argument that while he was not signed right now in OTA, he should be taking snaps to get ready. Didn't you say that?
I said there's a process to hiring people, right? And I said that the reason why me and Fogmeg are screening right now is because the process to sign somebody, and I could only use corporate America as an example, is that it's a rolling 6-week to 8-week process, right? You're talking for 2 weeks, right? You're just having a Pete Carroll conversation, right? You're shopping, like you said, for a couple weeks for the right candidate, right? Then you say, you know what? After all my shopping for 2 weeks, I like this cat. Let me make him an offer. He wants to go back and negotiate his contract. That might take a week. That might take 2 weeks. So we just lost a month, right? Then, like, and you know, they don't have this in the NFL, but in corporate America, then you have to put in your 2 weeks. Now we're up to 6 weeks, right? And this is we're mid-July, we're mid-June, right? 6 weeks puts us in August, right? Right. So, and in the NFL, let's take out the 2 weeks that you need to leave your job. That's a 1 month process, like you gave earlier. If he said that if he gets signed in August, he said he'd be talking to a team in a month, that timeline made sense.
So
the problem is only 2 weeks off that timeline, and we don't know that anybody's shopping. That's what makes us nervous. If the NFL
Okay, wait a minute. See, no, here's the thing. No, you guys are nervous. Wait a minute. The way it sounds like. Wait a minute. First of all, Fogman and Josh. What quarterback we know that we get seen shopping around other team with this 1 month process before August? I've never. Unless you are a big star, you visit maybe 2 to 3 teams you're choosing. Now we're talking about a backup quarterback. What backup quarterback we know shops around for a whole month process? Please tell me somebody. Because here's the thing. In the normal NFL world, nobody does not need to know on ESPN.com or NFL.com, this guy is being looked at by everybody. They get false report all the time. We don't know.
Yeah, but Tim, Patricia's didn't say
Tim,
that.
Like you said, we don't know. Maybe they're all keeping this massive secret from everybody, and this is the one secret that the internet has never found out. You might be right.
It can happen.
Right?
It happens.
The secret, nobody in any of these 32 organizations, 31, because the Seahawks took a look that we know of. 31 other organizations have mastered the art of keeping the secret, and we haven't found out. I hope you're right. I also want to say this. I hope you're right that he gets signed in August. But, I don't believe it because they need time. We're at the state of the country right now. The time is needed for everybody to cool down, for it to be clear. Vic got the cool down period. If you're saying that Kaepernick is going to sign in August and he just did this protest, you're highly optimistic about this country, and I hope you're right. But it doesn't.
He's a Cowboys fan. He believes they're going to win the Super Bowl this year. Of course, he's highly optimistic.
No, see, here's the thing, Fogman. And Fogman, y'all know this, Fog. Y'all know this. It is not late. There's nothing wrong with a backup quarterback signing in August. It doesn't hurt his game. It doesn't hurt anything. Michael Vick was signed August.
Yeah, but you know what, Tim? The difference between Kaepernick and a much lesser known quarterback. Kaepernick is a big name, quarterback, but still he's a big name.
Oh, big name?
I'm not saying. Tim, I'm not. Tim, listen.
God.
Tim,
this guy was the protest.
Tim, you see, this is the problem. You're not even listening. I didn't mean he's a big name because he's a star athlete or the genius at a quarterback. I was saying he's a big name because of his activism. He is very.
I agree.
Bullseye on him, and that's also play into the equation. Should we hire this guy who had this huge social bullseye on them? Now, if you compare it to a lesser known quarterback, of course a lesser known quarterback is going to be a secret because no one is looking at this quarterback being a backup at any team. No one really cares until it happens. But this is Kaepernick we're talking about now.
Okay,
and nothing is being said, and there's no leaks that team is alluding to sign him. That is where Trisha is coming in. Why people?
All right, hold on. All right, Josh. May I ask a question, Josh? Wait. May I ask Josh a question?
What up?
Go ahead.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, brother. May I ask you a question, Josh?
Oh, absolutely.
When Michael Vick, and I know you play the PS4. I'm a Madden fanatic.
Mm-hmm.
Love Madden. I recall August 25th, 2000 and who cares? Gets signed by the Philadelphia Eagles. When he spoke, he has said he's been in talks with them for the past couple of months. He gets signed August 25th. Everybody was shocked. Everybody was hyped. Michael Vick back in the league. So you're saying, oh, wait a minute. And Michael Vick, trust me, is a way bigger name than Colin Kaepernick as a player, not with the protest, as a player. My whole thing is this. That was kept for secret. Well, Sean, please mute yourself, Sean.
I'm agreeing. He's talented. Yeah, go ahead. No, I'm affirmating you. You say he's a bigger name because he's talented. I'm saying yes.
Again, Again, the problem is what I'm thinking is that we don't take the time to evaluate how certain the NFL's been doing when it comes to signing players and how they do. again, I get that Kaepernick right now got a bullseye for what he has done. I get that, but let's not act as if the NFL. Trisha may be right. They wanted to cool down a little bit. Fine, let it cool down. There is no rush. There is no rush. When September 6th come up, when September 6th hits, then guess what? I'll be the first to say, damn, he was blackballed. But we in June 2004, 2017.
That's not what we're saying either. What we're saying is we're approaching that, and there's still no word. It's worrying to some fans of Kaepernick. That's all, Tim.
Okay, all right. Don't worry.
And
Don't
I'm
worry,
not
fans.
wrong.
Don't worry,
I'm saying it's possible that
the wrong is still a free agent. Don't worry. He's a free agent still.
But to fans of Kaepernick, it's still worrying to them because there is no talk right now. You would think that if there was a team that is very serious in the negotiating and talks like months, you would think that it will be on the press right now. That the fact that it's not, if it's true, if you are right, and this is the talks right now, and it's true, it is one of the most best kept secret in sport history, and that needs an applause. But until then, we gotta wait.
I want to make a statement. This is my thing. This is what I'm gonna do. This is my bet right here. I have faith that he's gonna be signed.
Okay.
My number 2 thing, Miss Savita Thomas, if you're watching, please type this in, Sean. Whatever team he goes to, Miss Savita Thomas, because you are the only fan, the only real Kaepernick fan that I've known since 2011 that supported him, even when his game went bad. You didn't feel bad for Kaepernick when he protested. You just supported the man because you believe that the man could play. Everybody else who support Kaepernick, you only supported Kaepernick for what he's saying, which is a good thing. But for you to come out and say teams and thoughts of, oh, listen, he deserves to be on that team because he protests, shame on you, because y'all were the same ones disrespecting the same brother before he even protests. And I'm going to say this, Savita Thomas, wherever team he goes to, if you want that jersey, I'm going to get it for you because you deserve it. Everybody else, just be ashamed of yourselves. Jared Goff, Tyrod Taylor, all this crap. Not even want to evaluate what you're saying. Disrespectful. Disgusting.
Yeah.
Don't want anybody ever tell me about 100% attendance and Odell Beckham Jr. Look at yourself. Look at yourself.
Tim.
Look at yourself.
Tim.
Josh. Wait, I'm gonna start with you, Josh. Any last?
You know what? Show some love. Wait, I'm gonna show some love. Matthew Josh for 2MW. Me and him went back and forth without debate. But you know what? I went back to the archive in 2015. Matthew Johnson said a fair statement. You know what he said? Quarterback, but we cannot take away his ability. His skills is crazy. If he can perform as a quarterback, he'd be dangerous. The same thing Maxwell Ogden said. But Savita Thomas is the ultimate fan. All of y'all, hypocrites. Straight up.
All right, well,
now he can get better.
Okay, Tim. Last word, Josh.
Straight up. My last word is Kaepernick. If you're watching this, and I'm not crazy.
Damn, I didn't know his name was Josh.
Oh, excuse me,
Josh.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Pretty much what I summarized tonight, but I think he has a chance of signing with the team late in the summer. Absolutely.
Okay. Fogman?
Yes.
No, he will not be signed. And the Mike Vick argument is just it's useless. It's senseless. It's pointless. Donovan McNabb was in his 11th year. Mike Vick was coming off of 6 years and then 2 years in prison. And there were no other quarterbacks at the time that could possibly succeed Donovan McNabb that were out there in the market. So, no, Tim, your argument's wrong.
And to add to that, Vic, what Vic did he served time and time healed. And dog, animal beasts, although there's a lot of dog lovers and animal lovers.
There is, but it wasn't a cultural impact. He did not turn around and challenge the status quo of society with what he did.
Yeah,
he just committed a crime.
It's not like we all talk about animals every day in our subject, but when it comes to racial, subject matter, that's a much heavier subject to tackle, and Kaepernick chose that, which the country's still divided on. So to say that there's a cool down period, the country's still divided on it. So the cool down period hasn't happened yet. It's not going to happen this year. It may not happen in the next couple of years or even a decade. That's just an opinion. It's just an opinion. But last word, Tim, please. Just last word.
Frogman. Well, first of all, Colin Kaepernick, you are going to be signed. I have faith in the NFL process. You will be signed. You will be on the team, and I hope it was my Dallas Cowboys. We don't feel that comfortable with Kellen Moore, so I hope it's that team. Jerry Jones got balls to do it. And another thing, Frogman, when you mentioned McNabb and how he didn't get signed, please understand, when was the last time a quarterback gets benched in a 2-minute drill because he was overweight? Same time when he played in Minnesota, when was the last time a quarterback threw only for 35 yards the whole 4 quarters? Besides him and Kaepernick.
I don't know. I have to look in the archives, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll find it out.
Then again, McNabb was in the end of his years anyways, so.
Yeah, it's just, this is just completely subjective. It's okay, Tim. I know you lost, and it hurts your feelings.
Lost.
It's okay, though.
See, here's the thing about me. It's about this. It's never lost.
We're not going to go into other better words, better opinions. And to be honest, I think every one of you guys have hit the mark in the equation. It's a bunch of nuances, probably other nuances we haven't even hit why Kaepernick is in this situation. But it's not a one answer that fit everything. Kaepernick is just in a rough spot right now, and there's many factors why he's not signed. And you know what? Thanks again for people for joining in. I thought I saw someone join the call but couldn't really say anything. I'd like to thank Trisha, our mom, for jumping in to give her 2 cents on the issue. I'm pretty sure we're going to be talking about this in future episodes, especially in August. You know what? I admire Josh and Tim's optimism. And you know what? I really hope he does get something. I mean, but I'm kind of weighing on Fogmay's side.
He's going to get signed.
I'm weighing on Fogmay's side that I don't think it's going to happen. But you know what? Time would tell. Time would tell. And we will see it when it comes through in August. On that note, thanks again, guys, for joining us. We back same time, same place. Easy.
Leading knuckleheads.
No doubt.
100% attendance. 100% attendance.
Give me that damn money.
OTA.